Alright, this is another how-to on one of my favorite ships, the Kuma, Japanese Tier 4 cruiser. She's an awful lot of fun to play. She's quick to reload and quick to fire and quick to maneuver. She's a lot of fun, but she's a little soft on the armor. So you got to keep her angled, that is, keep her nose to the enemy or stern to the enemy, or you will get hurt. For this particular ship, I've increased the gun range by 10% with module add-on, and then main armaments survivability, so that as the ship takes damage, the weapon systems remain operational, or they reload or get repaired a little faster. For my captain, I've got some specialty skills, last stand, which allows the ship to continue to maneuver if her rudder is damaged, although not as well, and continue to have propulsion if her engines are damaged, although not as well if she were undamaged. I also gave her rapid turret rotation and the repair consumable, which shortens the time it takes to put out fires, that sort of thing. So let's see how she does. We'll get rolling here. Full screen. Alright. Kuma with the secondary hull has got a little extra AA and a few extra hit points. It was well worth the price spent. On this map you can see I'm way over to the east, and we've just got two caps, so everybody's going for each other's cap. You don't have to break up and go to caps A, B, C, and D, etc. With this game, I started out in reverse. Had my fingers on the wrong buttons. Sorry about that. But you'll see where our friends go. The cruiser right in front of me and to my left is going to cut across my bow. He's going to head up where cap C usually is, but there's no cap there, of course, not in this game. So he'll turn around, and the battleships and the cruisers in the middle of the game field, they're going to try and push up the middle. To tell you the truth, I wasn't paying much attention to the two cruisers off to the west. As we go through this battle, you're going to see that I did a pretty lousy job of alternating between high explosive and armor piercing. I pretty much stuck with armor piercing most of the time. That's going to be a mistake, and you'll see at the end of the game how many of these shells just don't do the amount of damage they should. The guns on the Kuma, there are 7, and they have 5 in center line turrets, and then 2 up by the bow, 1 either side, which gives the ship really good front-on attack capabilities. Torpedo tubes, you got 2 launchers on the left, 2 launchers on the right. Each launcher can fire 2 torpedoes, 7 kilometers, and 57 knots. Damage with the guns, high explosive on a good hit does 2400, and armor piercing does 2700. That's not a lot of difference. So it's probably a good idea to lean towards high explosive towards other cruisers. Now we have seen another cruiser behind that little island, and he'll be popping out in a minute. I went with the extended range on the guns, as I mentioned before, because the gun range is now 12.4 kilometers, and if I'm not firing, I'll be concealed from enemies at 11.3. But the moment I fire my guns, they're going to see me, so it's a good idea to get that extended range. So here's my first enemy, a Königsberg, and I'm just going to lay in and see what he does. Scored 1 hit and 3 bounces. That should be enough to tell you I should have gone high explosive. I've gone ahead and sent torpedoes down that way because he's in range. Okay, and they're definitely doing damage to me, so I'm turning around. I'm trying to keep the stern of the boat pointed towards my enemies while I keep firing. And I'm going to go ahead and send some torps down that way. And now they're really doing some damage to me. I'll usually send one set of torpedoes directly where the computer tells me to, and then one behind. That way, if the enemy sees the torpedoes and slams on the brakes and turns into them, the second set of torpedoes should get him. But this enemy is not paying attention. He's going bye-bye. Yep, got him with 2. Landed a citadel, 2 floodings. So here's the next enemy. I've already used my repair, so I gotta just wait until my crews can put this fire out on their own. But I am doing damage to this guy. If I were smart, I would have turned to the starboard. But he's not focusing on me, so I'm pretty well safe to go ahead and continue firing. I am going to send some more torps his way. There are no friends in danger of getting hit. Now I had 4 bounces, so I should be thinking about going to high explosive. 6 bounces and 2 overpens. Fortunately, the torpedoes, they are looking good, and he is gone. Once again, I really wasn't paying too much attention to how many shells were bouncing. I should have paid more attention to that, and could have done a lot more damage with high explosives than having so many shells bounce off. So there's a destroyer enemy challenging our cap. I'm going in to see if I can get him, but he is driving south really hard. So considering how fast he is, I might not be able to shoot around this island. And then there's another enemy cruiser at F4 that's coming in south, coming also into the cap. The rudder shift time on this boat is only 5.4 seconds, which is really good for a cruiser. And you can use that to throw this ship around left and right. And you should. It's going to keep you out of trouble. Reason being, on this ship, the citadel is exposed above the water line pretty substantially. I think it's only got 65 millimeters of armor. So you want to watch out for enemies shooting at your broadside, because they will hurt you. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple shots at that cruiser coming around the corner. And there's a destroyer. I haven't got ranged on him. I don't know how much of a lead to give him. And that was a lousy shot. But now I have to focus on this guy or he will tear me up. Yeah, I usually fire one shot to range and then just cut loose on the guy. Okay, he's firing at me, and I'm letting fly with all my torpedoes. Man, oh man, they're just pounding me. Okay, a citadel, good. Armor piercing. It either doesn't do enough or it really does a great job. Anyway, got rid of him. And in the meantime, that destroyer in our cap circle is dead. So that leaves just 2 enemies up north, and everybody down here is going to start pushing north to get them. So I'm going to zip ahead a little bit in the game to where he is just in range, and me and the ships around me were unloading on this guy. So I scored 3 hits. That's good, and 2 of them bounced. Let's skip ahead a little bit more. and that is a New York. So I did switch to high explosive for the New York. I was able to remember that against a battleship, and I'm a cruiser, you definitely want to use high explosive. Sorry about the lag, and if the sound is still messed up, sorry about that. Been trying to get that fixed. But this New York has got 5 enemies pouring all over him. He's going to be gone in a second. And the game was kind enough to give me the last kill. That was very nice of them. Always nice when that happens, although the team is really they're to blame. So, 79 hits, 45,649 damage. Not much experience, only 941, but look at this. 21 over penetrations and 28 ricochets with only 19 penetrations. I should have gone a lot more high explosive. You gotta pay attention to that. But we won, had a lot of fun, did a lot of damage. I took top score, always nice when that happens. You don't get any real bonus for that, but it is nice. Detailed report, you can take a look at what you did to each individual ship. This is another indicator of what kind of shell you should use. You'll start using both types of shell, and you'll see how much damage each does against each boat. So, came out with 51,763 silver. Got another point for my captain. 2,493. It's a good ship. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun and stay safe.